Larry Lawton here. I got a good video for you today. I have a video on the big California $150 million jewelry robbery.
A number of vendors say their life's work is gone, stolen from an armored truck.
Millions of dollars worth of stolen jewelry taken from an armored truck.
What happened to millions of dollars in jewels, gems, and other valuables on their way to a jewelry show near LA?
The truck wasn't carrying money, but jewelry, and a lot of it.
We're going to be talking about that here in a minute. Before I get started, check us out on YouTube member programs, Patreon, Discord is going crazy. Please check us out on our merch, all of this stuff, the book, Gangster Redemption. Remember, cigars are coming out September 1, the big humidor. I mean, this is classic stuff. So a lot is going on, everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I talked to you about this robbery, and this one, of course, really hit me because I've been getting calls from CNN and some other outlets wanting me to discuss the robbery. Now, mind you, these jewelers are saying they lost $150 million. Brinks, the armored car truck that was robbed, said it is less than $10 million. Now, somebody's got their numbers all fucked up. Some people are saying, obviously, that the jewelers are just inflating their prices now. Or some are saying that they always downplay because insurance is so expensive, so they downplay what they have. And they had some friggin' beautiful pieces, exotic signature pieces that are gonna be very hard to get rid of, to fence. So I'll tell you, we're gonna go with this in a minute. So what had happened was they go from trade show to trade show. So they do these shows probably monthly for a week in this convention center or a week here, and maybe every other week they'll do them. They're all over the place. Well, the Brinks Armored Car was going from one trade show to another trade show or convention trade show, and it was robbed on the way there. Again, it had all of these bags in the Brinks Armored Car truck. It wasn't like in money cash bag. Each bag had its jewelry. And 14 or 20, I'm not sure exact number, were taken. Well, obviously, whoever did this robbery knew exactly what bags to take to get that kind of money, if that is the money that is exactly stolen, that much money. They also knew where to hit this armored car. No shots fired, nobody hurt, nobody killed. There's no question in my mind that that's an inside job. You have to have the inside information. If anything else, what bags inside that armored car did we need? Or bins. They actually had bins, they call it, and they put the jewelry in a bin, and that's that guy's probably locked bin, and that's his stuff. So he goes to the convention and they go there and they set it all up and they have their own safes and everything when they go. So now there's no way to know what's in all those bins unless you take every single bin, but they did not take every bin. They only took X amount, like 14 bins, I think it was, which equaled $150 million, which easily can do. The biggest robbery before this was in France, and it was actually at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and they robbed $135 million in one briefcase. So you could put a lot of money in a very small space in diamonds, and that's why it's the preferred thing to rob, once you have an out. But don't think if you have a $100,000 ring, you're gonna get $100,000 for it. Most fences or most guys will get rid of it about 30 cents on the dollar, depending on what it is. I had a set price for Rolex watches. I had a set price for earrings with a certain VVS and D. Every diamond is so intricate. Now, the value of these guys' pieces, I think, they're very much signature pieces. When I say signature pieces, you can't just put them in another shop. When I would rob a jewelry store and I had a bunch of wedding rings or engagement rings and they're round and everything else, different sizes, you could sell them to anybody. They're pretty much normal. People say, oh, well, Larry, they have a birth certificate. Yeah, well, bullshit with the birth certificate, because you can write a few different numbers. It's all a little bit subjective, so it's not exact science unless they're robbing what they call Lazar Kaplan. Lazar Kaplan have laser cut diamonds, and they actually have a serial number inside the diamond you cannot see with the naked eye. You need a 10 powered microscope to see that. Obviously, I used to notice stores and I wouldn't rob a store with that because obviously I don't want serial numbers. You can get rid of them, you can grind them out. There's a lot of ways to do that, but you ruin the value of the diamond, obviously. And there's no better cut, in my opinion, than an actual cut, because I watched cutters cut diamonds. Well, whoever got these diamonds, whoever it is, and it's an inside job, I will bet your life you're gonna hear about this in the next month, that they got either a clue, somebody. Now, who's the inside person? That inside person could be one of those jewelers that are crying right now because he wants that insurance money. So what does he do? He sets up a robbery. He said not only will he have the jewelry and do what he wants with it, of course he's smart enough not to just put it back out there, but he is also gonna get his insurance money, or whatever insurance money they all get dealt with Brinks, because Brinks already said that they are gonna make everybody whole. So whatever it is. But when you have a piece like this, that is what they call a signature piece. These are what they call signature pieces that you either get rid of for the gold. It's a shame because there is a piece here that has very, very, very tiny, we call them chips. This was a lot of work to make. I don't think there's full cut diamonds in there. They're kind of diamond chips is what they use. And obviously it's a gold. I'm sure it's a sapphire or gold, and obviously it's worth a lot of money. But how do you sell it, and how do you break it up, and what do you make out of it? You're gonna get the weight in it, penny weight in gold? I mean, you could do that. This is another piece. You have to take out whatever's valuable in there and then try to figure out a way to make bigger money with that. Meaning, it's not like what I did. When I robbed a box of diamonds this big, and it had loose stones in there. And the loose stones would be from 1 carat or 3/4 of a carat up to 3, 4, 5 carats, whatever, in one box that I would rob. Now that box, I would be able to tell how much value's in that box just by asking 2 questions. Can I see a 1 carat? Wherever he picks it on that board, I'm watching. There's a box this big, that long, looks like a baseball card box. He picks it out here. And then I said, oh, that's really good. Can I see a 2 carat now? If he goes this way and he goes up to here, I know all of these are high dollar diamonds, big money. If he goes the other way, I knew these were shittier ones, and it's not a big space for loose diamonds. And remember, I was robbing loose diamonds, mostly. Yes, I would have the rings and the Rolexes and the bracelets and everything else you can think. But most of my value came from the box, from loose diamonds, or plain, I will call them a plain Jane piece. A typical engagement ring is usually always round, and that's for reasons. Because when a woman gets that, they again get married, and they get whatever band, they keep that ring on and that band. But when they get a little bit more wealthy or more comfortable as a couple, they'll take that diamond out and make a pendant out of it, or get another one and make diamond earrings. But they'll always want to keep that diamond because that's the first diamond that, you know, their husband gave them. So I get it, I understand it, but that's why they're easy to get rid of, because there's a lot of them. Yes, you have the marquise and the pear shapes and every other kind of shaped diamond, and they're all done, and everything is sometimes custom made, done this way or that way, and that's done on purpose, obviously, because somebody wants a signature piece. But most people who want to buy the $5,000, $7,000, $9,000 ring, it's going to be the regular ring, and those are the ones I'm loving, because at a $10,000 ring, and I can get $3,000 with a blink of an eye. Might be a more, it might be going for 20. Maybe the cut and the clarity and the inclusions are VVS1, very, very slight inclusion, and it might be a D color, which is a perfect, it might have a perfect mathematical cut, and at worth, I've seen 2 carat diamonds go for $100,000, and I see the 2 carat diamond go for $15,000. So it's just about quality. Now, for them to have robbed $150 million, obviously that has to be retail. They can't be telling me that's wholesale, because that would, and you know, one news agency says, well, these mom and pops are hurting. Well, you're not a mom and pop store or hustler, is what they are, because jewelers are hustlers, with 50 million in diamonds in your possession and you own it, whether it's on consignment or not. You're in control of 50 million. You're not a little mom and pop guy. Somebody trusted you with a lot of money. Or how many? I don't care if it's 10 million, 5 million, whatever. It's a big number. And it's a big number. You should, you know, people don't play with. So when they say 150 million, I think that's an insurance number personally. Who knows? Are they going to put more stuff in there? I don't know the procedure with the insurance company. Do they make everybody log it in? Okay, I would. If I'm that Brinks company, everything that came on that thing, I want to know. And I would log it in. Okay, 3 diamonds, 5 diamonds, bracelets, but I don't give a shit if it took a day. Once you have it, now if it's gone, you know what you lost. You can't just tell me I'm putting my shit in your Brinks truck and now it's worth 150 million. The fuck out of here. I mean, that's some racket there. I'll tell you who's winning there, and that's not gonna be the Brinks Armored Car service. How Brinks gets hit on this, the details aren't out. And I think that's pretty crazy because they had to either stop somewhere, land somewhere where people were waiting for them to take them over and rob these bins. Again, they didn't rob them all. Hence, that's why one of the major reasons I believe it's an inside job. 2, how do they know where that Brinks truck stops, starts, goes to lunch, does anything? Could it have been one of the Brinks drivers? Absolutely. Could have been a Brinks employee, a person in it. Could it have been one of the jewelers? Could it be one of the convention people? You know, you go from one convention to the other, the guy calls down and says, hey, listen, this van has got a fucking ton of shit on it. I mean, go get bins number 11 through 19 because I put the shit in there and they all got the high dollar crap. So they walk into that van, that Brinks truck, and they don't get the gold or the stuff that is still valuable, but nothing like that kind of value. So thinking how this is totally done, me, Larry, it was done with multiple people, multiple contacts, and there's going to be a fence involved. You don't rob this kind of stuff without having a fence. What is a fence? If anybody doesn't know, a fence is somebody who takes stolen property, whatever it is, and then converts it to that person for money or whatever bargain they make. So a fence will know that these jewels are stolen. He will give that person X amount of dollars, and now that fence, it's his job to get rid of that shit his own self. What does he do? He gives it to jewelers, he breaks it up. Listen, in the diamond business itself, there's a lot of shenanigans going on. Who's doing what to what? Who's making a deal? Who's stealing? Believe me, I watched jewelers try to steal from me. And I don't mean physically with a gun like I did. I mean, like, tell me this is worth more than it was, and try to hide flaws in clips, in facets. When you get a diamond, you should always look at your diamond outside the ring because you want to see what flaws on it with a 10-powered microscope. If there's not a 10-powered microscope on the counter, I wouldn't buy a jewelry from them. I want to see it not with a loop, which is okay. I want to see it with a 10-powered microscope so I can see if there's been any repairs. They do repair diamonds. There's a lot of shit that goes on. And you know what's sad? Most people don't know this. The 3rd largest purchase they'll ever make in their life is a diamond. The first is a house. The second is a car. 3rd is usually a diamond. And now, how much research does somebody do for that diamond? I watch people go to one jeweler and fucking think they got the best deal in the world. How could you know that possibly? If you go buy a car, do you go look up that car? Do you see what the MSRP is? Do you know what dealerships pay? Do you know the cost? Do you look? Do you know what you want in the car? You know every fucking thing about that car. You buy a house, you go through a realtor to get it inspected. You do a whole fucking thing. You do everything right. And you get a realtor to show you 20 houses. Why don't you do that with a diamond? Why don't you do that when you need to go buy a diamond? Why don't you go to 3, 4, 5, 10 places, get what it is, take a picture, see what this guy, what can you do? This is the reading. We call them a birth certificate. And that is the geometric cut, not the cut. The cut of a diamond is it a round, pear, marquee, different shape, oval? Now then you also have the color, which starts at D, E, F, G, H, and a D is the best color. And then you have what they call the rating, the VVS. V means it could be an SI1, which means slight inclusions 1. Or it could be a VVS1, very, very slight inclusions 1. It could be the best. Now, that is what will determine the value of that diamond to a degree. Now it's all salespeople. But if you know what you want, you know what you got, why wouldn't you take that diamond to multiple stores, not diamond that rating and everything, into multiple stores and try to get the best deal? Because you're not just saving $100. You're probably saving thousands of dollars. Just giving you an inside guy's knowledge about the diamond business. As far as robberies, obviously I have a lot of knowledge there, and I'm telling you, within a month, maybe a month and a half, you're gonna hear it come out. Somebody's either been arrested or questioned for being part of a diamond jewelry ring, or somebody like me, when it came out in the papers and it said, you know, diamond thieves connected with the organized crime, all that shit. This is gonna be, and I'm more believing that this is an inside job by one of two ways. Take everything else out. It's either one of these jewelers who wanted to be robbed and get his insurance and do his thing, and that's it. Or it could be one of the convention workers. You know, Brinks drivers too have been known to do what they do, and all they gotta do is set it up. Obviously, you know who the most scrutinized person is gonna be right now is the two people in that Brinks truck. In fact, you know, there's a funny story. Back when I got out of prison, a Tiffany's jewelry store was robbed for $5 million in Manhattan. And you know how they caught the guys? They caught them because they sold a ring for crack up in Harlem. Think of that. They sold a ring for crack up in Harlem, and they get caught. I wish I knew them. I'd have gave them $1 million for the whole load and sold the whole load for $2 million. You know, I mean, it's $5 million worth of stuff from Tiffany's. It's high-end stuff. It's not gonna be cheap stuff. Tiffany's is known to have very good stuff. Overpriced? Absolutely. Where rich and famous go and to spend too much? Absolutely. Because you'll do a lot better deal going to a wholesaler or somebody down in Little Italy, where pretty much that's the real diamond exchange. Listen, I know a lot that's going on downtown in Little Italy and under Little Italy, and that is where a lot of times you get value deals. People are making deals. Now listen, people would say, I got the best prices in the world. I said, how do you got the best prices in the world? Unless you stole it, you don't got no best prices in the world. The guy who's getting it from the guy who stole it, that's the guy, by far, that's the guy that's gonna get the best deal. And I'm not saying to go out and look for it. You can get a good value piece. I'm not a big jewelry, as you know. I'm not a big jewelry person myself. I did have that stuff when I was younger. I had a bracelet that was made out of all diamonds, mega value. I think it was like $60,000 bracelet made out in Larry and diamonds. I had, yes, another gold chain. I had the best watches. I had a presidential Rolex and diamonds and all. And what does it mean, really? I don't give a shit about it. I have more fun working here in the office, doing videos, hanging out, partying with a friend of mine, or going on a vacation for 2 days or 3 days, or doing something like that. Even watching sports movie. I'm a sports junkie and a golf nut. So I enjoy doing the things that I don't need to, you know, live like I have to have the jewelry. And I get jewelry, don't get me wrong. I think beautiful earrings, not a gaudy set of earrings for a woman, like a small, maybe a 1/4 carat earring for studs, I think is pretty. In a person or even a guy, depending on what ear. I don't know how that works, but it goes whenever. And also maybe a gold chain, you know, like a woman would look good with a pendant and something of that nature. So that's why I just want to give you guys the hints on a little bit about diamonds, a little bit about this robbery. And you know, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it right here, right fucking now. Wow, they got away with a lot if they got away with it. And if they did, I'm dying to see if they can keep staying away. If they're that good and if they're that professional, that they actually are going to get away with this. And there are many that have gotten caught and not gotten caught. So don't think it can't happen. Now, and you know, I hate to say this, gotta root for them. You know, I root for the bad guys. What can I say? I'm that kind of guy in a movie. I root for the criminal. Actually, you know I don't want you to become a criminal, everybody. Just have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something today. I will see you soon for another video. Please check out my podcast, The Real Deal with Larry Lawton, on all major platforms and here on YouTube as well. Go over there and check it out. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe. Make good choices.